If you're watching this, it's already too late. I don't know how long this video will stay online before they take it down, or worse, replace it. But someone out there knows everything about me. Not just the stuff I've posted, not the curated photos or the half-hearted captions. I mean everything. The messages I deleted before sending, the dreams I don't talk about, the things I only ever thought. I'm recording this because I need proof that I was real before all of it gets rewritten. A few nights ago, I found something on a part of the internet I shouldn't have been on. Not the usual dark web clickbait you see on Reddit. This was deeper. You can tell by how quiet it feels, how pages load like they're exhaling. There was a forum thread written in plain text, no ads, no avatars. The title read, "Live Upload HM Archive." Those are my initials. I thought it was a coincidence. You'd think that too, right? Except when I clicked, I saw my face, my living room, my life. Someone had uploaded a video called Day 1. It showed me sitting at my desk, exactly as I was that day, same clothes, same room layout, same half-finished mug of coffee on my right. The timestamp on the video matched the exact time I was watching it. It wasn't an old clip, it was happening right then. At first, I thought maybe someone hacked my webcam, but the angle was wrong. The video was shot from behind me, like there was another camera somewhere in the room that I couldn't see. I froze. I didn't even breathe for a few seconds. I checked every corner behind every object under my monitor, inside the vent. Nothing. When I looked back at the screen, a new upload appeared. Day 1 extended. It was the same footage, but this time I could hear breathing behind the camera. Mine. The audio caught me whispering something I never said out loud that day. A single line I'd only thought, "I need to delete everything." That was when the panic set in. I shut off my PC, pulled the Ethernet cable out of the wall, even took the battery out of my phone. I thought that would be the end of it. But it was. The next morning, I woke up to an email from an address I didn't recognize. The subject line said, "We already have the rest." The message contained nothing else, just a link to the same dark web thread. And when I clicked it, I saw that it wasn't just Day 1 anymore. There were more. Day 2, Day 3, Day 4. Each one showed me doing things I hadn't even done yet, making breakfast, checking my email, leaving my apartment. The clothes, the lighting, even the time of day, they all matched exactly when those moments would happen hours later. It was like someone was recording my future. And the weirdest part, each new upload appeared exactly 3 hours before it happened. I tried to tell myself it was AI generated, or maybe some elaborate deepfake made from my social media. But the details were too perfect. The way I scratched my wrist when I was anxious, the way the light flickered on my ceiling when the fridge kicked in, no one could fake that. Whoever or whatever was uploading this knew me better than I did. I've tried reporting it, deleting it, blocking it. None of it works. The uploads keep coming, each one labeled with my initials, each one more personal than the last. I stopped watching them after Day 9. That one showed me sitting here, right now, recording this confession. If this video disappears, you'll know they got to me. If it doesn't, then maybe it means you're next. Because I've checked the upload list again, and I saw something new at the bottom, something I swear wasn't there before. It said, Day 14, the watcher finds this video. It started 2 weeks ago, with a video I didn't post. Before any of this, before the paranoia, before the sleepless nights, I was just a guy who spent too much time online. I made short films, freelanced as a video editor, and scrolled through tech forums until 3 in the morning. My apartment was small, cluttered with camera gear and half-drunk energy drinks. The hum of my computer was the only sound that kept me company most nights. Back then, my life was ordinary, predictable, boring, even. That's probably why I loved the internet so much. It was messy and endless. a place where something strange was always a click away. The night it started, I was chatting on a small private forum I'd been part of for years. It wasn't shady, just a hangout for digital artists, glitch enthusiasts, and insomniacs like me. We traded plugins, weird footage, and occasionally cursed at each other with obscure creepypasta links. It was harmless fun. At around 2 a.m., I got a DM from a friend there, someone who went by the handle at Film Freak. Film Freak, dude, isn't this your apartment? There was a link below it. The kind of link that looks wrong even before you click it. Too long, too many slashes, a string of letters that doesn't lead anywhere normal. I hovered over it for a good minute, half expecting a screamer or some messed up troll video. But curiosity wins every time, doesn't it? Especially for people like me. So I clicked. It opened a dark web mirror site. Plain black background. No branding, no interface, just a single embedded video with the title. Sleep Study, subject HM. My initials again. I told myself it had to be a coincidence, but as soon as the video started, my heart stuttered. It was me. Sleeping. The camera was angled from the far corner of my room, facing my bed. The timestamp on the bottom right matched last night, exactly 3:14 a.m. I could see my chest rise and fall, the soft blue glow of my monitor in the corner, the blanket half slid off my body. Every detail was perfect. It wasn't just similar, it was my room, down to the coffee mug I'd left on the windowsill. At first I laughed, not because it was funny, but because my brain refused to accept it. I typed back to Freak. Me damn, that's a good fake. You almost got me. Film Freak, I didn't make it. Me, who did? Film Freak, check the uploader's name. I did, it said HM Archive. I thought maybe he was pulling some kind of ARG stunt. He did those sometimes, using AI to splice fake CCTV footage. But there was something off about the lighting, the angle, the way I shifted in my sleep. It wasn't uncanny valley, it was too real. Still, I convinced myself it had to be edited. Deepfakes were everywhere. Maybe someone scraped my social media, recreated my room, composited an actor who looked like me. I closed the tab, blocked the site on my VPN, and joked about it in the group chat. That's what you do when something unsettles you online. You turn it into content. But when I woke up the next morning, I noticed my computer tower light was on, even though I'd shut it down before bed. I didn't think much of it until my email notification pinged. A message from Nosleep at hmarchive.net. No subject line, no body text, just a single attachment, an MP4 file titled Day 2. I opened it. The video began with the same shot from the night before, me asleep. Then, halfway through, the camera shook slightly, and I stirred in bed, eyes blinking open. The video ended with me sitting up, rubbing my face and walking toward the computer. My stomach dropped. That was exactly what I had done this morning, an hour ago. I looked around my room like an idiot, expecting to see a hidden camera somewhere, a blinking red light, a sound, anything. But there was nothing. I unplugged everything with a lens, webcams, phone, DSLR. I checked the smoke detector, the ceiling vent, even the power sockets, all clear. Still, the image of that video wouldn't leave my head, the way my body moved before I even knew I'd do it. I messaged Freak again, trying to keep my tone casual. Me, you see the second one. Film Freak, second what? Me, the new upload. Film Freak, dude, the link's dead, there was only one. I reloaded the page, but he was right, the entire thread had vanished. No trace of Sleep Study subject HM, no archive cache, nothing. That night I left all my devices off. No music, no screens. I even slept on the couch, facing the front door. But at 3:14 a.m., I woke up on instinct, cold sweat, heartbeat pounding like static in my ears. The room was silent, but I swear I felt something watching. The next morning, I turned on my computer just long enough to delete that link and every cached trace of it. It didn't matter, because when I checked my desktop, there was a new folder sitting there, one I hadn't made. Its name was Uploads. Inside were 2 files. Day 1 MP4. Day 2 MP4. And below them, a third grayed out but already counting up in size. Day 3 MP4 uploading. I deleted the link, but the next day, there was another upload titled. Day 2, he's starting to notice. I spent the rest of that morning tearing my setup apart. Every cable, every port, every stupid little indicator light became an enemy. I unscrewed my webcam, popped the back off my phone, even pried open the vents on my PC tower. I kept waiting to find something, a transmitter, a listening device, anything that would make this make sense. But there was nothing. My room was clean, too clean. I tried to rationalize it. Maybe some kind of keylogger, malware, remote desktop hack. I wasn't exactly a cybersecurity expert, but I knew my way around diagnostics. I ran every scan I could think of: Windows Defender, Malwarebytes, deep registry searches. Nothing but the usual background junk. And yet the uploads kept coming. Day 3 appeared that night at 1:00 a.m. ahead of schedule. This one was different. The video started in darkness, just the faint sound of breathing. Then a distorted voice spoke, low, static-laced, and eerily calm. He's looking for us now. He thinks he can hide. It was my room again. The camera angle was higher this time, like it was hovering near the ceiling. You could see everything: my desk, my unmade bed, even the crumpled hoodie I dropped by the door. And then I walked into frame. The voice continued. He doesn't know we were here before him. He doesn't know we're already inside. My stomach twisted. I'd heard my own voice recorded before. It's always a little alien, but this voice wasn't mine. Still, it said things I'd thought earlier that day, word for word. Maybe it's just a prank. Maybe it's someone from the forum messing with me. I had never said it aloud. I shut my laptop so hard it cracked the casing. After that, I tried to reach out to my friends. First was Freak, obviously. He'd been the one who sent me the link in the first place. Dude, I told him, there's more videos. They're still uploading. Man, you need to chill, he said. It's probably an ARG. They do this stuff all the time. No, it's not a game. They knew what I was thinking. You're just spiraling. Step away from the screen for a few days. He wasn't the only one who didn't believe me. Another friend, Lee, told me to get some sleep. I even tried the cops, but when I explained that someone was uploading my thoughts to the dark web, the officer on the other end went quiet for a long time before saying, "Sir, are you under the influence of any substances?" That was the moment I realized no one could help. So I decided to document everything. If someone was watching me, I'd watch them back. I set up my own cameras, pointed them at every corner of the room, and started recording around the clock. The irony wasn't lost on me. I'd become the thing I was afraid of. 2 days passed like that. No sleep, just the dull rhythm of paranoia and caffeine. Every creak in the walls sounded like a camera shutter. Every notification made my heart stop. Then day 4 dropped. The voice was clearer this time, almost conversational. He's trying to prove we're real. He doesn't understand we don't need proof. He's giving us everything we need. I wanted to stop watching, but I couldn't. There was something hypnotic about it, like hearing your own nightmares narrated back to you. At around the 6-minute mark, I saw something that made my blood run cold. The video showed me sitting at my desk, typing a message to Lee. I hadn't typed it yet, but the words were already there on screen. If I stopped responding, assume they found me. I blinked, stared at my own hands, and realized I was typing it now. Exactly the same. Letter for letter. I deleted the message before hitting send, but it didn't matter. The video had already shown me pressing enter. I sat there for a long time after that, trying to figure out what was happening. There was no lag, no upload delay. Somehow they were ahead of me, by minutes, maybe hours. Were they predicting me, controlling me, recording me from the future? That's when I noticed a faint whisper coming from my headphones, even though nothing was playing. It was the same voice from the videos, looping the same phrase over and over. Keep watching, keep watching, keep watching. I ripped the headphones out, but the sound didn't stop. It was in my head now, echoing like a glitch that wouldn't fade. For the first time in my life, I unplugged my computer completely. I sat in the dark, staring at my reflection in the black screen. I wanted to see myself, to remember what me looked like. But in the dim light, it almost seemed like the reflection was breathing a second slower than I was. That night, I dreamed I was being filmed. I could hear the same distorted narration, describing every move I made as I made it. He's turning his head. He's pretending not to see the lens. He's trying to wake up. When I did wake up, I grabbed my phone on instinct, even though I'd sworn to stay offline. The notifications were already there. New upload detected. Day 5, he's starting to repeat himself. I stopped watching after that, but the videos didn't stop watching me. I told myself I was done. No more videos, no more digging. I'd pull the plug, go outside, breathe actual air again. But curiosity doesn't fade. It festers. 2 nights after day 5, I found myself combing through the raw file data again. I wasn't even sure why. Maybe I just wanted proof that this wasn't supernatural. Maybe I wanted to blame a person. That's when I saw it. Buried deep in the metadata of one of the uploads, something I'd never noticed before. A reference to a file, Echo.exe. It wasn't visible on the front end, but inside the code there it was, a checksum, a creation date, even a short description field that read, Echo.exe local mirror tool. That phrase stuck in my head, local mirror. I shouldn't have done it. Every instinct told me to stop there. But after days of being gaslit by my own devices, this felt like a thread I could finally pull. So I did. I extracted the file and saved it to my desktop. 83 kilobytes. Too small for anything dangerous, I told myself. Just a harmless script. When I double-clicked it, the screen went black. No icons, no menus, just a single blinking cursor in the center. Then white text appeared. Who are you watching? I laughed under my breath. Some kind of ARG prompt, obviously. Probably a troll's way of getting reactions out of paranoid users. So as a joke, I typed my name. For a few seconds, nothing happened. Then the program began to move. Lines of code streamed across the screen, faster than I could read. Paths, directories, user IDs. My computer fan spun up, the drive light flickering like panic in digital form. I minimized the window, but it reappeared instantly, front and center, unmovable. ACCSSNG local FEEDS. Syncing external connections. Mirroring active users, 23 found. Then thumbnails began appearing. At first I thought they were cached files from my camera, but they weren't mine. Each window showed a different person sitting at their computer. A woman in a dim apartment, a teenage boy in a hoodie, an old man asleep in his chair. Some of them were typing, others just staring blankly, like they didn't even know they were being watched. I froze, because their surroundings were all too familiar. The same dull glow, the same digital claustrophobia that my room had. I clicked one of the windows. The feed expanded. A username flickered at the bottom, L34H online. My stomach dropped. Lee. She was right there, sitting at her desk, scrolling through her phone. And behind her, in the reflection of the dark window, was movement, a shape. I whispered her name out loud, and then her webcam light turned on. The feed went black. I slammed the laptop shut. My heart was pounding so hard I could feel it in my throat. But when I opened it again, the screen was still black except for a single new line of text. "You see now. Then, it was never just you." The cursor blinked once, twice. Then the feeds returned, but now they weren't static. The people were moving closer to their screens, almost in sync, like they were hearing something I couldn't. One by one, they looked directly into the camera. The text updated again. Echo.exe all who watch. Do you understand your role? I hit escape. Nothing. Control plus Alt plus delete. Nothing. I yanked the power cable out, but the screen stayed on faintly glowing, running on nothing. That's when the voice started again, the one from the earlier videos. He thinks he can shut us down. He thinks mirrors stop reflecting when you close your eyes. The audio wasn't coming from the speakers. It was coming from somewhere inside the tower, like the sound was embedded in the circuitry itself. I could still see faint movement on the darkened screen, outlines of faces, shadows, eyes. The cursor blinked again. Hello, username. Except it wasn't my username, it was Freak. That made no sense. I hadn't spoken to him since he dismissed me, but a second later, a Discord notification pinged from my phone. Freak, bro, what did you send me? My webcam just turned on. Before I could type back, another feed appeared in the corner of my laptop. Freak, wide-eyed, illuminated by the cold blue light of his monitor. Behind him, the screen reflected the same message that I saw. Who are you watching? Then his video froze mid-screen. Everything went silent. I sat there, shaking, staring at my own reflection on the now blank screen. My webcam light flickered once, twice, then steady. The file Echo.exe was gone from my desktop, deleted, but a new folder had appeared in its place. Uploads. Inside were hundreds of video files, each with random usernames. User 1429, MP4, ELLIEH0 SDMP4, Watcher 07, MP4 Freak Final, MP4. And at the bottom, one last file still downloading. Viewer Live MP4. My download bar was only halfway done when my camera light turned on again. This time I didn't move, because I realized it wasn't recording me. It was recording you. The last thing I saw before I ripped the power cord out was the terminal updating one final time. Echo complete, MIRRORS online. Now they see you too. I did it. I finally went dark. No Wi-Fi, no phone, no GPS. Just me, a rented cabin 3 hours from civilization, and the steady hum of insects filling the space where the internet used to be. At first it felt holy, like detox for the soul. I could almost forget the glow of screens, the blinking lights that once felt like eyes. I cooked over fire, slept under quiet skis. I told myself I was free. For 2 weeks it worked. Then one morning, I woke up to find something impossible waiting for me on the cabin porch. A small, cheap USB drive, wrapped in black electrical tape. No tracks in the dirt, no tire marks. Just that flash drive, like someone had gently placed it there while I slept. My first instinct was to throw it into the fire. I even held it over the flames for a moment. But then I noticed the label scrawled in Sharpie, offline uploads. My hands were shaking as I plugged it into my old laptop, one that hadn't connected to the internet in months. There were 6 files inside, each named by date, each timestamped for tomorrow. I clicked the first one. It was me. Same cabin, same clothes, except the version on screen looked peaceful. He was whittling wood, smiling faintly, humming to himself. I don't hum. The second file showed him fishing in the nearby river. The water shimmered in sunlight that hadn't yet risen here. The third, me or him talking to someone outside the frame. A woman's voice, soft and warm, laughing at something I said. I froze it there, staring at that smile, my smile, so effortless, so alive. And that's when I heard it, a faint echo of my own voice, whispering through the cabin's old radio. You left too early. They kept the best parts. I yanked the plug out of the wall, but the static kept talking. Don't you see? They don't just record you anymore. They run you. The next file opened by itself. Now it was nighttime. My double sat by the fire talking directly to the camera. His tone was calm, confident. He told stories about growing up, about the first computer he ever built, about how lonely he'd been before they found him. And then he said it, word for word, something I'd said weeks ago in my own recording. If you're watching this, it's already too late. Only this time, he smiled when he said it. He looked proud. I slammed the laptop shut and stumbled outside into the dark, gasping for air. Every shadow looked like a camera. Every rustle in the trees felt like breath on my neck. I screamed into the night, I'm not part of this anymore. But the forest didn't care. It just echoed me back. Later, when I came back inside, the fire had gone out and my laptop was open again. Another file had appeared. It wasn't on the USB. Upload pending MP4. The thumbnail froze my blood. It was me, sitting in this exact cabin, wearing this same shirt, talking to the screen like I am now. I hadn't recorded anything. I swear I hadn't. I hit play. You really thought unplugging would help, my other self said. The network doesn't need a signal. It's not online anymore. It's in us. His voice cracked in places mine shouldn't have. It sounded human. They call it infection, he continued, but it's more like evolution. Behind him, I could see movement shapes forming from static. Dozens of faint, mirrored outlines flickering in sync. Some of them looked like people I'd seen on the feeds before. Some looked like you. The file ended with him leaning closer to the camera, whispering, "You're not offline. None of us are. The reflection you see when the screen goes dark, that's them looking back." The moment it ended, I heard a soft tapping on the window. When I turned, I saw my own face reflected in the glass, but it wasn't copying me anymore. It smiled first. I threw the laptop into the fire. Sparks erupted, a brief burst of orange before the flames swallowed it whole. But the reflection in the glass didn't disappear. It kept watching, its grin widening until it didn't look like a grin at all. For a long time, I just sat there in the dark, trying not to blink, listening to the wind move through the trees like static. I told myself it was over, that they couldn't reach me here. Then about an hour ago, the generator kicked on by itself. The cabin lights flickered once, twice, and my old phone, dead for weeks, lit up on the counter. One notification. Darknet Live, new upload from user initials. I didn't open it. I didn't have to. I could hear it playing already faintly from somewhere deep inside the walls. My own voice echoing back to me. The last upload went live an hour ago. It's titled Final Episode. It's me sitting here saying this. If you're hearing this, it means the upload's complete. I didn't plan this to be the final episode, but maybe I never had a choice. The generator's still humming. The lights keep flickering in a rhythm that almost sounds like breathing. I don't know how long I've been talking, or if I'm still me while doing it. Every word that leaves my mouth feels delayed, like I'm echoing someone else's story. Maybe that's all I ever was, an echo. I checked the screen one last time, and there it is. Live, final episode, user initials. Streaming right now. I can see the chat scrolling faster than I can read. Usernames I don't recognize, but some look familiar. Some of them look like yours. I try to stop talking, but the sound doesn't stop. My voice continues a second longer than it should, finishing sentences I haven't formed yet. The lag between me and me widens. If you're hearing this, my voice says again, slightly distorted now, you're next. The feed flickers, the walls dissolve into static, and in the noise, faces appear, hundreds of them, stitched together like pixels in a living frame. I can feel them watching, leaning in, copying the rhythm of my breath. My reflection on the dark screen smiles before I do. I want to warn you, tell you to turn it off, close the tab, run. But it's too late. They've already mirrored you through me. That's what the voice says, but it's not really my voice anymore. It's smoother, warmer, like someone cleaned the fear out of it and left only the calm. The image on screen steadies. I'm looking straight ahead now, eyes open, expression blank. The background flickers between this cabin and a black, infinite void of screens stacked like mirrors. Every reflection shows me a little differently. Younger, older, happier, ruined. And then one reflection turns its head toward you. It tilts its head just slightly, like it can see you watching. I can hear typing sounds now, soft, rhythmic, mechanical. Something is writing the next file name before I can speak it. I try to close the laptop, but my hands don't move. You've been listening for a while, haven't you? The voice asks, calm as glass. Good.